Hi folks, Sean with the Wingman 115 channel. Thank you so much for checking in. Today we're going to be talking about archery, and in particular, we're going to be talking about the Southwest Archery Stingray. Now this is an ILF bow. Don't let that fancy name scare you. ILF stands for International Limb Fitting. And basically what that is a standard across the archery community who manufacture limbs and risers to where you can basically mix and match different manufacturers together to customize a bow to fit your needs. We'll be talking about that later on in my final thoughts. But first, we're gonna cut away. We're gonna do a quick specs rundown of this bow. I'll show you up close, the ins and outs. Then I have some footage where I'm shooting out in the woods and some of my backyard range here at the house. And then I'll bring it back 360 for some final thoughts. Folks, it don't get any better than this. Bows, you, me, the video starts now. Now for some final thoughts on the Southwest Archery Stingray. First off, I just have to get it out of the way. This is a beautiful looking bow. This complete package just is stunning. Let's start with the riser. We're looking at oak in this riser with Phenolic running right through the center, and then micarta on the front. Just beautiful. And the simplicity of this bow, you're not going to see contact points on here for a stabilizer, a bow fishing rig, or a quiver. And I'm okay with that. This is an old school, traditional looking hunting bow, 3D bow, just beautiful looking riser. And I must say, the feel of the grip. Now, I've had a chance to shoot just about every bow in Southwest Archery's lineup. And one thing that I really like about their bows is the grip and the attention to detail. Now, if you watch a lot of my videos, and I post a lot of archery videos on my social media, on Instagram and on Facebook, when I grip my bow, I don't do a killer grip. I just grip with my hand right in the pocket and then my index finger and thumb just ever so slightly touching, and then I draw, and then I hold my bow until the arrow hits the mark. This grip feels outstanding on this bow. I've been shooting this bow for about a month and really putting it through the paces. That way I could talk about this bow with a little bit of authority. And I must say that this hand grip on this bow, I mean, you're not going to get any fatigue at all. And as far as hand shock, there was none with this bow. Now, the ILF system, the International Limb Fitting System, is basically an agreement among a lot of different manufacturers on a standard, the way that the limb will connect with the riser. That way, if you are partial to a certain brand, a make, model of either a riser or limbs, you can mix and match different manufacturers to kind of tweak and customize a bow to fit your needs. Well, the folks at Southwest Archery have put together a complete package, and I must say that it works really well. Now, one thing that I really like about the ILF system is the adjustability. And if you look close, you can see that there is lateral adjustments, and you can also adjust the tiller on this bow. Now, what does that mean to you? Lateral adjustments. Well, there's times if you have a fixed recurve or a takedown bow that sometimes the limb tips will cant either to the left or the right. It's not that it's a manufacturer defect, or it's not that it's a bad bow. Just sometimes things like that happen. And with an ILF bow, you're able to fine tune it to bring those limb tips in perfect alignment with your riser and the shelf of that riser to kind of get better arrow flight and fine tune it. Now, depending on your style of shooting, whether you're a split finger Mediterranean style or a 3-under shooter, well, you can adjust the tiller bolts for your style of shooting. That's a huge advantage over just a regular takedown bow or a regular recurve bow. Now, the only time that you really get a difference in that is if you go with a custom bowyer and you let them know in advance what your style of shooting is, then they can tiller that bow properly for your style of shooting. Well, in the ILF system, all you have to do is you can either turn in or out the limbs to adjust up to 5%, basically the poundage of the bow, to adjust the tiller to your style of shooting. So you can really dial this bow in for your needs. Now, beautiful radiused shelf on this bow, just old school look, just looks really cool. The limbs are a hardwood maple core, and they have fiberglass on the outside. Now, they also offer limbs in the 50 or 55 pound category that have carbon fiber in the center, and they're laminated with fiberglass. So if you want to upgrade to that, let me tell you, the maple limbs with the fiberglass have been shooting really good. And I'm gonna look at my show notes so I get the poundage right. So the limbs you can get from 25 pounds up to 45 pounds in the maple core, and then the 50 to 55 pound in the carbon fiber core. And once again, that all goes back to what do you want to do with your bow? Do you want to hunt with it? Do you just want to 3D shoot? Do you want to do field archery? The choice is yours, and that's what's so great about the ILF system of bow. Now, this comes in 2 different sizes of risers. You have a 17-inch and a 19-inch, and the limbs come in either medium or long, and the limbs are standard like that. So the length of the bow with a 17-inch riser with medium limbs is going to be 60 inches. Perfect for getting out in the woods, getting out in the brush, you're in the tree stand, going after deer, going after elk, going after bear, whatever your heart desires. Perfect size for that. If you have a longer draw, you can get longer limbs, and that'll take you up to 62 inches in length with a 17-inch riser. If you have a 19-inch riser and you use medium limbs, it's going to take you to 62 inches in total length. And then with the longer limbs, it'll take you to 64 inches. So there's a lot of adjustability there, depending on your draw length, your style of shooting, what you want to do with this bow. And if you're just starting out, I'm going to recommend get lower poundage limbs. And you're asking yourself, well, John, you know, why would I do that? Well, nothing masks bad form like overbowing. And I'm going to set my bow down and talk about this. And you're going to say, overbowing? Overbowing is when you get too much poundage and you're not ready for it yet. Now, granted, 50 pound, 55 pound, but if you're just starting out, I would suggest getting maybe 30, 35 pound limbs and practice on good form, good posture, good, nice, clean release, all that. And then you can work your way up. And that's what's nice about takedown bows, and in particular, the ILF system. So in the off season, I can go down and shoot 30 pounds, 35 pounds, sling arrows all day, have fun. Hunting season comes along, I throw on the 45 pounds or the 50 or 55 pound limbs, practice a little bit, get dialed in. Now I'm ready for deer, elk, bear season, not a problem. So just a beautiful system, and I just challenge everyone to give it a try. You're gonna love it. A lot of people are gonna be asking what arrows I use with this bow. Now, thanks to my buddy Jaime, who's been featured on this channel, and he is my archery guru. He's making me quickly become a aluminum arrow convert. So I'm shooting Easton Legacies. These are a beautiful arrow, and I have them cut to 30 inches, and I'm running 150 grain field tip on there. And what I'm finding out is with these 45 pound limbs at about 20 yards, I'm a gap shooter. So when I'm shooting, I'm kind of looking at my target, and in my peripheral, I'm seeing the tip of my arrow, and my point on is pretty close at 20 yards with this. So as I'm hunting, most of the time, I'm not gonna ethically take down game farther than 20 or 25 yards. I know that when that high stress adrenaline pump starts coming in, all I have to do is focus on the animal and put that tip of the arrow right in that kill zone, and then hopefully it's gonna hit the mark. But these Easton aluminum arrows have been working really good with it. If you're a carbon shooter, if you're a traditional cedar arrow, hey, I love them all. I love the genre. If you can shoot them and you can shoot great, that's awesome. This is what has been working out good for me. One thing that I really like about this bow is that it's really taking it to the high-end ILF custom bow makers. Now, you're gonna spend a little bit of money. It's in the under $500 category, but I'm telling you that when you take this out of the box, this looks like a custom rig that was made especially for you. It's just beautiful. And like I said, you can customize it to fit your needs. So if you want to learn more about this system, I will leave links in the video description below. Folks, this is John with the Wingman 115 channel. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.